Hey, this is Ty, the dog trainer. I'm coming to you with a question from a reader of our website. Let me get in here. She says, "Hi, Ty. I'm concerned for my son and his dog. The problem is she is growling at people for no apparent reason. She used to only growl when someone would come near her food or space on the floor, but now she is growling at unpredictable times and for no apparent reason. Her symptoms are she starts by cowering and smacking her lips and then growls. What does this mean and how do we stop it?" Okay, so here's a few. Let me just tell you the things that come to mind as I read this. Number one, aggression tends to act this way. What I mean by that is aggression left unchecked tends to get worse and worse and worse. And so, what happens is the dog uses aggression over her food, and sure enough, it works. She growls, no one touches her food, and so it worked. And so again, she growls tomorrow, and it works. And she growls some more, and it works. And so then the dog starts to think, okay, maybe I'll start using that strategy in different contexts. Maybe I'll use it over here over the toy, or maybe I'll use it over here with this or with that or the other. And that's where we obviously start to run into problems, as the dog starts to realize that aggression is a viable response when I don't feel good, when I feel uncomfortable, when I feel nervous, when I feel protective, etc. And so, now, hindsight's 20/20, so what I'm telling you isn't too much of a help for you, but for the other people that are going to watch this video, it's important not to just say, oh, we'll get around to fixing the aggression. Getting around to, fixing aggression isn't like cleaning the gutters in your house. It's not like, oh, I'll get around to it later and it'll be fine. It's something that you have to address the second it starts cropping up. Because like I say, if you don't, it tends to be this slippery slope. It tends to snowball down further and further to where now the problem becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and the bigger the snowball becomes, the harder it is to fix, obviously. So like I say, I say that because, for anyone watching this video, don't wait, don't hesitate. Get out there and fix this aggression problem as soon as possible. And use the resources on our website, of course, on dogbehaviouronline.com to do that. To your question, though, what does this mean? Without seeing it, I'm not too familiar with smacking her lips. I think what you're saying is, I've seen dogs that, they kind of do this lip motion, and most of the time when I see it, it's a anxiety response. And so your dog is probably, again, without seeing it, I'm just making my best judgment call. Your dog is probably acting out of fear. She fears something. Oh my gosh, they're getting close to my food, I'm afraid, or they're getting close to this part of my body, and that makes me afraid, or what have you. And so, like I say, a lot of dogs, when they have fear, dogs when they're fearful, they've only got three responses available to them. They've got the fight response, the flight response, and the avoidance response. Now, your dog is choosing fight. She's not being super serious about it yet. She's not biting anybody, at least from your email. It doesn't sound like she is. But she's choosing the response of, I'm going to growl at you and get you to back off. Now, like I say, this is another thing that can continue to develop into a bigger problem. A dog that's choosing fight by growling could get to the point where they start wanting to bite, because it can progress and snowball in that direction. Now, to stop it, I see two main things that you need to do. Number one, you've got to form the right relationship with the dog. It's not common for dogs to growl and be aggressive towards people that they respect. And so anytime that you see a dog being aggressive to its owner or to people in the home, it's a pretty good tip-off that the dog doesn't respect you. And so like I say, it's doubtful, and again, I don't know too much about the situation here, but it's doubtful that the dog has too much respect. Now, the best way to gain that respect is through solid obedience. At my company, we always go to what I call core behaviors. If your dog walks perfectly on a leash, no matter the distraction, that's going to help you gain respect. If your dog stays when told, no matter the distraction, that's going to help you get respect. If your dog comes when called, no matter the distraction, that's going to help you get respect. So start working on that level of obedience, number one. Number two, correct the aggression when it happens. I would leave a leash and a training collar on this dog, and when she tries to growl at you over the food, correct her into a new part of the house, like, no, you give a couple corrections, go to a different part of the house, have her sit, good girl, the sit is just to kind of change her mind frame or lie down or whatever. Have her do anything, that's just simple, just to change your mind frame and just to get her to where you can praise her and say, oh, what a good girl, good job. And so, like I say, correct, like I say, get the obedience and then correct the aggression, and those two things should really help you out with your issues. I wish you the best of luck and happy training.